So today, what we'll be going over is breaking into Epic Analyst roles, sort of what you need, what tips and tricks. Um, I will say that maybe it might be best for me to kind of break this up into a couple different videos, because there's just so much that goes into it from, the self-study proficiencies, um, exams, just based off the questions that I've received. There's a lot of confusion around, I believe, the process. So I think the main place we'll start here is where to actually find jobs. And so now the caveat to Epic is you have to move to Wisconsin, Madison. So they're usually going to be targeting fresh grads. So it's usually best to have your degree if you're going to apply here. Let me move myself out of the way. So I am just going to careers.epic.com and I am going to go to careers if I can even find it. And I'm just going to go to view available positions. Now, another thing to consider about working directly for Epic is that there is high turnover, but there are a group of people that love it. So I always just suggest being open to new things. Maybe starting early in your career, you may have to make that move, but just to get your career started, just that to get your foot into the door to break into that first role, it might be worth it. Now, keep in mind, some of these roles they will state no degree required, so be sure to look out for those roles if you are in that um, pool. Me particularly, I do not have a degree, so yeah. Another place that I would look would be obviously LinkedIn. You want to make sure you have a really good headshot, um, a short and concise title. I would kind of stray away from what do people usually put in their bios for LinkedIn? Aspiring. I would usually stray away from that verbiage. Aspiring cybersecurity analyst, aspiring. Um, I would just put it, put what you want to do and start working towards that, right? Now, like for example, if I was an RN and I wanted to go into like an Epic Analyst role, I'd probably look for like application analysts or clinical analysts as particular roles. And let's just say if I'm on LinkedIn, I would search, go under the jobs category, and this is a little trick that you can do. Um, let's see, you're going to filter by date posted, and you're going to go to past 24 hours. Now, notice there are over 1,000 different listings for this, right? But what you can do to kind of get this put down, I usually go here, and what this will do is filter any applications within, I want to say the last, is it 8 hours? I forget where I saw this, but notice that it's still not, still too many. Let's go 24, 15, still a lot. Let's get rid of a zero. Okay, so this is we went from 1,500 to 800, right? And so if you see, like, you're starting to get jobs that were posted within the last 30 minutes instead of the last 24 hours, like 46 minutes. Granted, these aren't just like techno art, but whatever. Let's see. Epic Optime anesthesia. Probably wouldn't apply to that. Let's filter by experience. Let's just go entry level. Usually when you're breaking that's another thing I want to say. Usually when you're breaking into a new role or a new area, you always want to go below the role, a step below to make it easier to get in, because all you want to do is get in. You work that job for 6 to 12 months. Now you have the experience to leverage and to get into a more associate role. You always want to look a roll down just to get your foot in the door, right? You have to take that cut there just to get in. So let's just say if I was an RN, right? And I've got clinical experience, I probably look at like an application analyst posted 3 hours ago. Amazon my chart. Baylor Scott and White Health, right? Another thing that you can do too, what's a hospital? Emory, Emory Healthcare, Emory. Let's do it. Emory Hospital. I would go. Every hospital has a career page. I would just go to their careers page and I would type in a keyword, Epic. I promise y'all I got fast internet. Okay, look, Epic Analyst 1, exactly what you want, right? Boom, perfect. This is a perfect opportunity. 8 to 5. You're making $31 an hour just starting off. Oh wait, that's a midpoint. I'm sorry. The minimum is 23. But hey, you have to just get in, right? Don't worry about the pay for now. You worry about the pay on the next one. You're gonna get them on the next one. You just want to get in. You want them to pay for your certification, send you to Verona, get certified, and then you become an asset in the marketplace. But this is perfect. Even though it says bachelor's degree, me, I don't have a bachelor's degree, but I would still apply to this role. And what I would do is leverage my clinical experience on my resume really well and tailor it to some of the keywords in this uh, job posting. So, yeah, I guess this is a very long video already. So yeah, careers.epic.com, linkedin.com. Make sure to tailor and filter by the days and the hours, how I did, where you type at the top in the URL, and then the actual career page for any hospital you can think of, and just apply. But yeah, I've got some other things too. This video is already getting kind of long. I know I'm a bit of a yapper here, but um, I didn't realize how difficult it was for me to break into this role into until all of the messages that I received about it. And so I just want to do everything that I can to kind of help pay the way for other people to break in. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be posting another video about this. I kind of just did this on the fly. So be looking out for that. Ciao.